Do you know that all over the world today, tonight, there are millions, if not billions, of human beings whose lives are being consumed by negativity. Now, the world and our relationship to the cosmos has certain cycles. It runs through these things where there is increased activity or decreased activity, but it's all part of a cycle. And in a cycle of increased activity exists the possibility of increased consciousness instead of increased conflict. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say by and large, but I just have to say it anyway. First, when you're negative, when I'm negative, we are being consumed. Negativity is a consuming energy because it seems to create life, but it actually drains it. It promises to create something new to escape the pain of it, when all it does is create increasing conflict where the pain is enhanced. At some point in an aspirant's life, and God willing that it's yours, the man or woman realizes, I can't be like that anymore. But I don't know what else to do. I really don't know what else to do. I'm speaking for you. I look out at the world. What am I supposed to do? And here's a thought. Do with it what you will. Human beings, if they are redeemed, meaning reborn, brought into this new level of consciousness that belongs to another kingdom, are redeemed one person at a time. There's no church, there's no group, there's no political party, there's no authority, there's no powerful this or that because it's gathered in some name is redeemed. Our souls are redeemed, meaning they are exchanged for something that is broader and brighter and better and that makes positive choices because that consciousness can no longer act against itself. And the reason it's so important to understand that, because this was something that I came to me today when I was working on this talk, knowing how agitated the majority of humanity is, especially today. And by the way, rejoicing is just the opposite of that conflict, because what you rejoice over today will change into some form of unjoy tomorrow. You've seen it, you ought to know it by now. Can you think of, did Christ go around saying, we have to get rid of the Roman yoke on our back? Did he plot and plan and try to form groups to overthrow or in any way whatsoever change the governing body of the religious nation that he was himself born into? Or did he teach and try to express the idea that if you want to be a new human being, you have to do it alone? Did he teach that this kingdom that we're in, with all of its conflict and mounting insanity, is something that's meant to be redeemed by human beings who have no consciousness whatsoever and actually creating the kingdom they want to change? Or did he say that his father's mansion had many kingdoms and that it was our choice, our job, before we ever begin to try to heal anyone else, to heal ourselves by entering into another order of consciousness? See, it runs against this consciousness of ours. We've been taught, conditioned, brainwashed, punished for millennia by a society and a religion and a culture that condemns anyone and anything that doesn't fall into line with whatever the particular position is in that time that one must be a part of. Otherwise, you're apart from everything, and therefore you're this or you're that. And we don't want to be a this or that. We want to belong. And all effort to belong to any power group, position, power, possess, any attempt on that part is the passive response of a consciousness trying to escape the incomplete sense of itself that, by the way, it has been complicit in engendering. I wish this world wasn't the way it is. But I know the world is the way it is because I am the way I am. That me professing one thing doesn't change, not for a split second, what it is that I do and pursue every moment of my life, as long as I remain unconscious to the will of that negativity. What do you think all this mad pursuit of comfort is? The incessant shopping, the foodies and the pleasures. What do you think all that's about? You think it's because of COVID? It's because we are passive to this negativity we feel towards life. We do not want to accept life the way it is. Today's Wednesday, Sunday's talk. As it is meant to be. I can't accept that the world is as it's meant to be, because to accept the world as it's meant to be would mean to accept myself as I am. And I am full of resistance and want to reject everything that doesn't, in one way or another, prove and promise that I'm right in my position and what I want. It is the end of that nature. It is the end of it is the end of Guy. That is the beginning of redemption. Not what Guy says redemption is through the comforts it pursues, through the conflict it tries to resolve with all of its possessions and powers and ways in one way or another that it wants to ameliorate the anxiety that it's in. But you see, these things, we come to a certain peace at a point in our life when we really understand this. My first task is always to be as attentive as I can in the moment to any part of me that is pointing or pushing and telling me the way to get rid of this pain, this negativity, is simply to produce what it promises will bring an end to it. Because there is no end to that. It lives in a world of imagination. It produces imaginary outcome. And when the imagined outcome crashes down, it simply reproduces yet another condition that it is passive to and performs. And the clearer this is, and may God make it so, the more a man or a woman possesses their own life. They don't passively pounce. They don't passively promise. They don't passively postpone. They don't possibly lend themselves to something that promises something better tomorrow. The new man, the new woman isn't passive to anything at all, save for the moment that allows them to see and then be actively attentive to what is welling up within them as a divine gift, a revelation. To be actively present to the revelation instead of passively asleep to the promise I'm told to escape what I see in myself and in this world.